What's going on, Knicks and Liberty family? Welcome back to another episode of Two Knicks Chicks. I'm your girl, Lady and the Chef, joined by my co-host this evening.
Diva 21, what's up?
Summertime, it's hot. We're dealing with a heat wave. Speaking of heat wave, the New York Liberty are actually on their own heat wave that they've been on. They've now won 8 games in a row. They're looking to make it 9 in a row tonight against Phoenix. They're on the road in Phoenix, so they'll be playing against the Phoenix Mercury. Um, Phoenix did beat Seattle the other day. I think it was over the weekend. They beat them. Seattle's a pretty good team this year, being that they got Skylar Diggins Smith. They have Nneka Abumbage, and then they have Black Mamba Drew Lloyd on the team. So, they have their own version of like a big three that they're running with this year um, out in Seattle. And, kudos to Skylar Diggins for being able to be picked up by a team, which I wasn't surprised that a team would want to pick her up after all the drama that she had with Phoenix. But we're here to talk about the New York Liberty. The New York Liberty won their seventh in a row on the road. They beat last year's champs, the Las Vegas Aces. I thought this was a well-played game by the Liberty. The Liberty had control the entire game. They beat Vegas 90-82. Liberty outscored Vegas first quarter 28-20. Second quarter, they did get outscored 17-23, but they bounced back in the third 22-17. Fourth quarter, Liberty scored 23, Vegas at 22. The scoring, four players in double figures. Jonquel Jones came through in a clutch. She made me eat my words because I was just complaining how she, was chucking up threes, and I didn't really. It's not that I don't want to see Jonquel Jones chucking up threes, but they just weren't going down. But the last few games, she's definitely been knocking them down. She played 33 minutes. She had 34 points, 8 rebounds. Brianna Stewart played 38 minutes. She finished with a double-double. She had 14 points, 12 rebounds. But Nigel Laney Hamilton played 36 minutes. She finished with 12 points, 7 rebounds. Sabrina Ionescu played 34 minutes, finished with a double-double as well, had 15 points, 12 assists. And you know what? I have to say with Sabrina, we were talking about this on the last episode. She's added driving to her game. She's added a different level to her game. Whereas old Sabrina was just chucking up threes. And don't get me wrong, I thought the threes was nice from Sabrina, but now she's more of a threat. And I think the problem is with this year for other teams is that they're so used to her shooting the threes that she's taking it to the hole and driving and being aggressive. And it's working in the Liberty's favor, which is great. You know what I mean? To see her be aggressive and shoot the ball. But nonetheless, great win against the Aces. Your thoughts on that game?
Well, definitely that was, I guess, part one of the redemption because
Yeah.
we all know, what happened last year. So, that's, they redeemed themselves from last year, but they're gonna meet up with them again. Um, Overall, it was a good game, great ball movement, scoring was, even. Shout out to JJ. That was her career high, by the way.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize. I was like, wow. So that was a career high for her. Asia was no match for her, which, you got to set the tone early, and that's what they did. Um, just balance scoring between them. Their bench did outscore the Liberty. The Aces bench did outscore them, but overall, they controlled the tempo and they were away. So they were able to play their style. They dictated the game. As much as Chelsea had a good game. Asia, but just matchup wise, I mean the Liberty out beat them. Um, Again, they played their style, and it was like, you know, I, and yeah, for whatever reason, is this a rivalry? Who knows? It can become one. But just a nice, well-rounded play game. Um, the Asia, she, wasn't able to, you know, assert her will. She wasn't able, she scored, but again, JJ, held her own. And like you said, she made you eat her words because I know you get very, flustered when she when she chuck them up.
Mhm.
But she's becoming like a better, well-rounded player. If there's extra reps she's getting it, then we'll take it. Um, you know, they they was able and they were able to contain Jackie Young because prior to that,
Mhm.
she went off in the previous game.
Yeah, she
So
had 7 picks.
yeah, 7-3. So they were able to contain her, because she's a part of that three-headed monster, between Chelsea, Asia, and Jackie Young. And then now you got Kelsey, which, she played a good game. She did that the little antic she did on the court, but we got the W anyway, so you could do whatever you want. I don't know if you caught that though. What she did, with the too small. Oh, you didn't
Oh
catch
yeah,
that?
I did. I
Yeah,
just
yeah. So that's what I'm referring to. She did that little antic with Sabrina, but they got the W. So that's what mattered. You could do all that, that showboating, but at the end of the day, the Liberty got the win, and that was good. Is definitely helping them carry over to all wins. When you stack them up, your confidence build. They've already established their identity by just bringing their core group back, so the chemistry is there. So if they could just continue to build off of that, you know the, uh, the championship for me personally, I think is for them to for the taking. But as long as they continue to play like a cohesive unit and build off of, every win, when you stack those wins up, again, things become, you know, um, less daunting for you. And, now teams they got to play catch up because you're out in the running, So this overall it was a well played game, and I like what I saw with the Aces, against the Aces rather.
I don't agree that Asia Wilson didn't have her way. She actually did have her way against that game. Not just because the amount of points that she scored,
Mhm.
but I think it's the skill set. And when a player works on their moves and they get in the gym and work on those reps, I was very impressed by the way she was able to catch the ball where she wanted, and she was
Mm.
still able to make the shots. And I thought John Quell's defense was a little lazy, if you ask me. It could have been a bit tighter on her. I I just felt like, and I say that because prime example tonight when they play against Phoenix, what are you gonna do against Brittany Griner? Brittany Griner's post game is nowhere near Asia Wilson's, no. But I think that John Quell sometimes the defense, and I don't know if this is because I don't know what it is so far this season. The refs, it's frustrating to watch. It's too many freaking fouls being called every 2 seconds. And for some reason, John Quell is that player that they keep. I don't know. It's like she's a target. They want to call a foul on her and every two. Her and Fibesh, Fibesh. They keep getting freaking fouls. Stop fouling all the time. And not all of them are fouls, but some of them I'm like, all right, well, yeah, they did get the person, but I didn't particularly care for John Quell's defense against Asia as much. I thought it could have been a little better. But I will say, John Quell, she looks better this year and she's playing better this year because she did say how she's in better shape this season compared to what she was last year, which you can see on the court. But I heard Cheryl Swoops, they do a She Got game under the WNBA YouTube channel. And I heard her, I was listening to the podcast earlier. It was like if it was a 10-minute episode. And Cheryl Swoops was saying how her thing with John Quell Jones is she feels like John Quell should be scoring like that every night. She said maybe not 34, which I agree, but she's like she's at the point in her career. where you should be given like at least a double double 20 and
More
10 a
dominant.
night. Right. And I agree. Like the way John Quell is playing this season, it's no reason why you should be giving us nothing less than 15. I'm giving you 15 at a minimum. Because all you got to do is catch the ball down low. We know you could shoot a jumper. We know you could shoot a three, but you can get a lot of easy buckets and rack them up. And she could hit free throws.
Yeah.
So I think that Jonquel Jones this season is really like what they need. And then you have Stewie who does all the little other things in the cleanup. But I just want to see her tighten up the defense just a little bit without fouling or getting herself in predicaments where she's going to get the referee to just say, okay, foul, because I don't know if the referees are, they get tired, they need a break. I don't know. But that's my only like thing with her so far this season. I think her defense could be a bit stronger.
Well, and to back up, with Adrian, yeah, she did, have a way, but there's some of those plays, and NBA, WNBA, where as much of a defensive presence that you can be on that court, there are just some places just gonna just score.
Yeah, it's just better
And
offense.
yeah, it's just better offense. And if she plays her too tight, now she's putting herself in foul trouble because she's such an offensive threat. And then you got she's in the running for MVP. You know, she may get it this year because the way she's playing this year, she took her game up a notch. Asia. And this is what, and I guess shows, is it, you said Schwoops, or was it Miller? Well, I guess this is what they probably saying for John Crow. Yeah, she's playing better this year, but guess what? Now let's see what you're gonna do next year. And then the season's not over. Can you continue with that style of play and be that offensive threat, for John Quell? So again, as much as you could, have great defense, there's better offense. And that's what Asia, did and what she continues to do. Now, this is what, as a player, we want to see from John Quell because she's capable, you
Hmm.
know. But can she do that on a night in, night out basis and a consistent rate? So,
Yeah,
um,
I think she's capable of doing it. I think
oh yeah, for
what
sure.
takes her out of it is when she gets too many early fouls called on her, and then Sandy has to sit her down. And I think there's a lot to say about this New York Liberty team, considering they don't have their point guard. Courtney Vandersloot has been out the last, what, 3, 4, 5 games
Yeah.
at least now,
Hmm.
for personal reasons. I hope everything's okay with her. But she's been out, so that leaves Sabrina Ionescu to play the point guard position, which Sabrina, honestly, she worked on that too, because last year, very sloppy. I'm not going to say very sloppy, but it was a little sloppy. Ball dribbling off your kneecap, off your ankle. It's just, but I think this Liberty team is a lot better this season because they played they played together well last year, but they're playing better this season because they got to learn each other. And then I even saw something where Benijah Laney Hamilton was saying how a lot of them had hung out throughout the summer. They were going to lunches and dinners together as teammates, like getting to know each other, running it up, you know, having some runs in the gym with each other throughout the summer. So I think a little bit of the combination of things that just helps them, you know what I mean, be able to become a better player. And I think that the Liberty have a chip on their shoulder because they
Oh,
were so close of winning the championship that, you know, they have that behind the scenes documentary style that they do with the Liberty team, kind of like how they do with the Knicks as well. And a lot of the players on the Liberty have said that that loss really affected them and that it's like it was so crushing. Some of them couldn't even watch the last game. Rewatched the film because they were like, yo, I even said to you, could you imagine a player like Courtney Vandersloot? And I'm not putting the blame on her, but if I was her, I would be like, wow, I didn't even hit the rim. I'd rather miss it hit the rim. You shot an air ball. That could have made the difference. And maybe we could have went back to Vegas and had another opportunity. But I think this Liberty team wants so badly, just like the Knicks. They wanted so badly to get a championship because they want to bring it here to New York that this year they're so locked in. You know what I mean? Like, there's no question about the continuity with this team because they're so locked in with
Sure.
each other that they're doing what they need to do. They're playing at a high level. And honestly, the only other team, I don't know if it may be a repeat. I'm not knocking the Aces out, right? If they could still find a way the second half of the season, but at this rate, and I told you last night when I called you, I think it's going to be Connecticut, Minnesota, Lynx, or it's going to be the Aces. And if it's not the Aces, then I'll say it may be Phoenix or Seattle.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are
Mhm.
like the five teams who they're the top strongest teams in the league, and the other teams the other couple of teams they're good enough to make the playoffs, but those better teams are gonna knock them out, right? So I just think that it's anybody's up for grabs, but I think it could go New York and Connecticut or New York and either any of those other four teams that I just mentioned that could possibly be a finals championship round team that can make it into the league tonight. But the Liberty do play tonight at 10 o'clock against Phoenix. It's a late game, of course, because they're out on the road. And then I believe the Liberty don't play again until Thursday. They'll be playing LA Sparks on a back to back. They'll be playing them Thursday and then again on Saturday. We will be in the building at Barclays on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. I know for tonight, the Liberty have to watch out for Diana Taurasi. I don't know why some people sleep on Diana Taurasi and think because she's 40, she's not balling.
Exactly.
Uh, she's dropping damn near a double double every night. It looks too easy,
Yeah,
but to be honest,
yeah.
like she's shooting threes like they're layups. So you got to watch out for her. Brittany Griner, I'm sure, will play tonight because she didn't play the first matchup against the Liberty. She will be playing tonight. Cunningham, Sophie Cunningham, she was quiet the last game. You got to watch out for her because she could randomly start shooting the threes, drive into the basket. She's not afraid to take contact. And I don't know if I'm missing somebody. I feel like I'm
Leah Copper.
Copper. There you go.
Are you kidding me? She dropped 30 on them. What was that when they played Sunday?
Yeah,
So,
against Seattle.
you know, sh- I mean, really, these are players that you just can't sleep on it and take for granted, and your defense has gotta be there on point. So, yeah,
Right. Salute Kareem. Salute APAP. Thank you for joining us.
salute.
Um, yeah, I agree. Copper was quiet. A lot of the players that we're discussing the first round matchup this season against Phoenix, they were quiet. And I also think that when you're a really good team in a league, teams are looking to knock you off and give you a loss and hand you a
Yeah,
loss. So all the teams coming up, Phoenix tonight, LA on a back to back, and don't sleep on LA. Just because they're a younger team, they're not the Indiana Fever.
for
They're
sure.
not Washington Mystics. They're a good team. Rakia Jackson, um,
Drink.
Cameron Cameron Brink, and what's the other girl that's on that team that I'm mixing her up with the point guard on that team. She'll come to me. But the way Rakia and Cameron are playing, considering they're rookies, reminds me of how Angel Reese and Camila Cardosa on Chicago play.
Oh yeah,
This rookie class that came into the WNBA this season seems a lot more prepared for the league, including Caitlin Clark. They just seem prepared for the league. Caitlin, I think, she needs to get more muscle. She got to get stronger because she's getting
oh,
pushed
yeah.
around like a rag doll out there, flung around all over the place. But this rookie class, have you really like Rakia the way she be? Rakia looked like this is her third year in the league. The way she's playing on LA. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
the move, the move she's doing on the floor. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, she's
I mean,
certainly
just
not playing like
comfortable.
a
A
rookie.
rookie, no, she looks confident, comfortable. She grabbing the ball. It's not show. She's not showboating. She just looks like she's been in this league at least 2, 3 years now. I'm like, look at the way she's playing. I can't wait to watch her live on Saturday. But I think we do have a bone to pick because I did want to move on and talk about how the WNBA did do the New York Liberty wrong.
Yeah, big time.
But yeah, huge. So the WNBA decided, first of all, they decided that the Commissioner's Cup game was going to be June 25th, right? That was already decided. So that means somebody effed up, and now they're finding out now that they effed up. So I'm gonna read a little snippet from the New York Post because they covered this. Um, so the WNBA decided not to keep the date for the Commissioner's Cup game, considering that they had a conflict from the team's home venue at the Barclays Center, due to the fact that the NBA draft falls on the day after, which is, I believe, the 26th. So because of that, they need the staff needs several days to set up Barclays Center in time for the NBA draft. Therefore, the Liberty had to move arenas from Barclays Center to the UBS arena where the Islanders play out in Long Island. The Liberty notified the WNBA in December that a potential championship game on June 25th would not work should they make it, and the league ignored the team. The Liberty and the WNBA announced on Monday that the game against the Lynx, which, by the way, the New York Liberty are going to be facing the Minnesota Lynx in the championship, excuse me, in the Commissioner's Cup, which is the WNBA's version of the in-season tournament. So they'll be playing against Minnesota. They announced on Monday that the game will take place at UBS Arena, which is Queens Nassau County border, rather than playing at Barclays Center due to the NBA draft taking place at Barclays the day after, which is on the 26th. So according to the New York Post, the Liberty had gone back to the WNBA earlier this month about the scheduling conflict. And according to the AM New York, they were told before UBS Arena became an option that the game would have been played in Minnesota, even though the Liberty earned home court advantage. This is the part I don't understand. This is very messy. A source told the outlet that the Liberty has suggested that their July 2nd home game against the Minnesota Lynx will be redesignated as the championship game, and that the Lynx were given the final say about where the game would take place. I don't understand that. If the Liberty got home
Yeah,
court advantage still.
and a better record and so forth and everything.
Right. Now, the Barclays has served as home for the NBA draft every year since 2013, except 2020 because of COVID, right? So, again, the NBA explained the reason why they need the WNBA not to hold the Commissioner's Cup game on the 25th is because the setup for the draft takes days for them the staff to set up. Um, NBA spokesman Mike Bass told the Post in a statement, "We are working closely with the New York Liberty on this one game relocation to UBS Arena and to provide the best possible experience for attendees and participants at the WNBA Commissioner's Cup Championship. We apologize for any inconvenience to the Liberty season ticket holders and fans." Sir, you apologize when the train is running late. You apologize when there's a glitch in an app and you thought the bus was going to come at such and such time and it doesn't come. You don't say, well, our apologies to the season ticket holders and to the fans. There's no way that they would do that to any NBA team season ticket holders, and they would move a game, whether it was an in-season game or a regular game. That's why we're going to use our beloved Knicks. Madison Square Garden has concerts there all year round. Guess what?
Yeah.
They work around the concerts. They work around the concerts and schedule games around the concerts. For the WNBA to move the New York Liberty's in-season championship game from the Barclays Center to West Bumba out in Long Island on a weeknight is pure disgusting, if you ask me. It's absolute, it's disrespectful to these ladies. I'm not sure why they keep disrespecting these women in the WNBA, because you wouldn't do that to the men in the NBA. It's also disrespectful to New York fans. Season ticket. I saw season ticket holders complaining in the comments under the WNBA page and the New York Liberty page. And the
And
thing
they should.
is there's no apology by the WNBA or the New York Liberty. And really the New York Liberty don't need to apologize to anybody because they were inconvenienced. I haven't seen the WNBA once say, oh, well, the matter of fact, because I brought her name up to you last night and I couldn't think of her name. A statement from Liberty CEO Kia Clark early in the day thanked UBS Arena, which is home to the Islanders and had hosted several college basketball games since it's opened in 2021, for allowing the WNBA team to use its facility. While we we could have brought this game to our fans in our home arena, we are grateful to UBS Arena for accommodating us and providing a world class. Girl, get out of here.
Yeah.
It still doesn't, like, what are we doing here?
And not just that, why couldn't they just broker a little deal with MSG? Like AP, so let the Liberty play at MSG. You mean to tell me y'all couldn't, that was their home before, Dolan, threw them to the curb. But regardless, like, you mean to tell me you couldn't, like, broker something with MSG and see if they could possibly have the game there? I mean, man, that, yeah, I don't get that one. And
It's
then the game is at 8 o'clock at night. Like,
it's just pure disgust. I need the WNBA. This is a message for the WNBA. I need you to do better because you all know better. Do better. Grow a backbone and a spine and put your foot down. The NBA would never allow this to happen. And
yeah,
for you to allow the NBA to tell you that you got to move an in-season tournament, even if that was the case, somebody messed up. This is not a small thing where you can go, oh, well, we can look this over. This is not a small thing. This wasn't like a regular game and maybe they had to reschedule it. Listen, the same way sports organizations work on the schedule way before the season starts, y'all had time to figure out when this in-season tournament championship was going to be, whether it was the New York Liberty in it or not.
yeah,
So somebody messed up, whoever's in charge of scheduling or whatever that position is, overlooked. How do you overlook a whole NBA draft and decide, well, we're going to make the in-season championship game? For all of that, they should have just moved the in-season tournament to a different date.
yeah. That's how I keep it.
Why
Yep,
would
you
you
just
why
you
would
you
you
beat me to the
inconvenience
punch.
fans, bring it to an arena where most people can't even get to? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Do better, WNBA. Stop this. Stop
Well,
it. And let me tell you, I'm gonna do you one better. If Caitlin Clark was on the Liberty, they wouldn't have did that.
nope.
They wouldn't have did that. That
You
game
got to
would have
call it
still been
out.
played at Barclays.
Yep. Oh
Do
yeah.
better, WNBA. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted with the disrespect.
No,
And I'm gonna
that's
keep
true.
commenting under your post on IG, Twitter, wherever y'all post. X, I don't care. Stop the disrespect on these women.
Yeah, they take 2 steps forward, but then you take 3 back. Like,
Right.
And then you knew about it back in December. So that's when so that was
Draft
what
happens at
6
the same
months.
time every year.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
it's held at Barclays. So again, Miss Kia Clark, you need to be ripping a new one, and whoever it is. I'm not saying that I'm not for firing people, but somebody needs to get checked because that's unacceptable and that cannot happen for next season.
yeah.
Y'all the one that wanted to do an in-season tournament. Because technically the WNBA started it before the NBA. The NBA just started it this past season. The WNBA started it last season. They started the in-season Commissioner's Cup tournament. But if y'all want to do something like that, don't you think you should make sure your dates are in like? And then I'm wondering, well, what happened last year? Well, no, last year it was held in
And
Vegas, wasn't it?
Vegas.
Yeah, yeah, it was in Vegas. So, and then the fact that they were going to give the Minnesota Lynx, the option to call the game.
They get the final say so.
Who's
Who,
coming up?
that's who.
They're making my head hurt. What are we doing here? It's just pure disrespect. The New York Liberty are not happy with the WNBA, and rightfully so. Now they're trying to market it really aggressive. They got
Yeah,
Sabrina Ionescu on IG. Hey fans, stop it.
that's the
Stop
whole
it.
on X too. She's trying to push the fans over to UBS Arena. I mean, I get it, from a marketing standpoint, but all that could have been avoided had they and you had plenty of time to tweak that schedule and broker a deal again. You could have changed the date.
Or change
Problem solved. Okay,
right.
y'all having a
Just moved it
draft
back.
at X, Y, and Z. Okay, then we'll have it 2 days after. Y'all
Right.
say it's about 2 days to clean it
Right.
up, right? Or 2 days before.
Right.
So, like, who's
Right.
who was the brains
And
behind that
and
operation?
that's a great point because they could have even did it before because technically the in season tournament games, the qualifying games been ended. So
Yeah,
with this gap that they're on, games are still happening, but this gap until the tournament, someone didn't have brains enough to say, well, why don't we just have it such and
two
such date
days.
and just move it up? You blast it on social media, put it on the website.
Yeah.
What's going on with the WNBA? I say it all the time. They must be hiring.
Well, like I said, they take 2 steps forward and three back, and there's good that's coming out of it this year, but this was one that like it just fell by the wayside. Somebody didn't do their due diligence, as to try to figure out, well, we can have it 2 days before. Okay, bingo, problem solved.
Right.
Like what was so hard in that?
Right. Yeah, I agree. AP said the NBA draft should be at MSG. Yeah, why are you
Yeah,
doing
you could
it at
even move
Barclays?
exactly. You could even move the draft there.
Right.
Yeah, a few more thousand seats for the venue. Hey, probably that's another option.
Hmm.
So, but somebody didn't do their due diligence and didn't, fight hard enough for that Liberty game to be played at their home, which is Barclays, not UBS Arena. That's
Yeah,
not their
that's
home.
just right, and that's what I saw a lot of fans saying was like, but I thought it was home court advantage. That's not their home.
Exactly.
So why
Yeah.
do you have them play there? And that's not their home. So I don't understand like these kind of things that happen with the WNBA. It's just why? What are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like let's stop the games. It's just ridiculous at this point.
For sure.
Adam Silver should move the draft to MSG. This is the championship game for the league. You're trying to grow. Don't disrespect it. Yeah.
Exactly. They claim they always want, there's some type of partnership within as a commissioner, you should have said, well, we'll move it. That's a very valid point. Very good point. But I don't think whoever the lady behind that Liberty. I don't. She caved. Sound like she caved in, but
Oh
she put up
yeah,
the one that you was reading that statement from.
yeah. Um, Kia Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said the same thing. It's crazy. What are your keys for tonight's game against Phoenix, who are actually sitting at 7-7, Liberty at 12-2?
Well, I mean, you know me, I'm always, on the optimistic side, um, the Liberty on its tear. I don't, regardless if they're away, they proven themselves, when they do go away, that's not a factor for them. They still, seem to play up. So that's I'm going for the W for them. And and again, you got to watch players like Kalia, Brittany Griner, she they that Sunday game, I think, but those two combined, I think it was like 57 or something points between the two of them. So they're both on a tear, down in Taurasi. Don't that age, don't let it fool you. Um, so my prediction is a win for them for
Yeah.
sure.
Um, my keys for tonight's game, strong defense. I think the Liberty are going to have to do a great job guarding the perimeter. The Liberty have done a great job playing zone this year. Their zone is really strong. They haven't allowed teams to get inside like that teams want to. So I want to see strong defense, boxing out on the boards. Um, just playing together, but watching the passes as well. Being mindful of that. I would like to see Jonquel get the ball down low to her early, make the extra pass, play unselfish basketball as they have. And I don't want to see them settling for jumpers. If they can, I want to see them try to get Griner in foul trouble, try to get Kalia in foul trouble. But they're definitely going to have to protect the paint and play strong, solid defense because this Phoenix team likes to run. They drive. They could all hit the three. Brittany Griner has added the three. Their coach actually wants her shooting the three more this season, and she could knock it down. So I think that is crucial that the Liberty play really strong defense. And listen, if they can get hot early, the Liberty play really strong first quarters and they play really strong fourth quarters. So a lot of teams tend to lose gas. The Liberty play really, really good strong quarters. You and I were talking about how Sandy calls the timeouts at the right time
Yes.
and allow teams to go up by really no more than four, if six. She calls the timeout very quickly, draws up a great play. The Liberty come out, execute, they get a nice basket, and a lot of times they're able to go on a run. So, um, tonight I need the Liberty to stay locked in. And then, the road trips has been early, which is fine. Let them play a lot of away games. But I got them also winning tonight. I got them winning the next three tonight, and then the back-to-backs against LA.
Yeah.
I really don't want to see LA even get one game. Just hit them and get them. And it's crucial that this Liberty team stays out of foul trouble. Not just John Quell, but Benijah Laney, Stewie, Sabrina. Like you don't want to get in foul trouble. So they can take them tonight. It's going to be a late game. I'll be checked into the game. If I finish the game, it's a different story. But I will be watching a game tonight, as I do want to see what goes down with this Liberty team. So I'm looking forward to it. And then, like I said, the Liberty do play again Thursday against LA, and then they play them again on Saturday at 3. It's an early game. So, yeah, we'll be back to do a show Saturday morning just to kind of give a recap. And then I'll get some footage from the game on Saturday.
Yeah. And well, and don't forget. Oh wait, before I go into what I'm gonna say, um, it's Happy National Mascot Day, and I just want to wish Ellie and a belated birthday to Ellie as well. She was turned up, but
Yeah,
but what I'm gonna say is voting. Voting has started. It started on the 15th, and it goes up until what was that? The 29th. That's when it concludes. But excuse me, the voting started June 13th, and it concludes on Saturday the 29th. For the All-Star game, which will be held in Phoenix this year, July 19th through the 20th. And on they have a 2-for-1 days in the WNBA, which that means your vote count twice, which was June 16th, June 22nd, and June 27th. Those are all 2-for-1 days. Um, and that ends at midnight, of course, if you do cast your ballot. You can go to if you have a desktop or mobile, go to the web, which is WNBA, and look for the link for All-Star voting. And you can also go on the WNBA app. If you don't have it, you could download it on an iOS or Android device. And that way you could cast your vote as well. So please vote for the Liberty, definitely to get in.
Who did you vote for?
I'm voting on Liberty. I'm voting Stewie, UNESCO, Jacqua Jones, and for the guards, Laney, Hamilton, Sloop, and I can, and then I voted for Kayla for the forward. It's all
Oh,
Liberty here.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I,
I'm
I
not.
didn't I didn't cast my vote yet. No, but I didn't know if you voted. I didn't know if you voted for only like one or maybe two players specifically.
No, no,
Not
no.
that I thought you voted for anyone from another team, but I didn't know if you just maybe only voted like one or two players from the Liberty.
No, as when I did it for the Knicks, I put all Knicks players. I'm same thing for the Liberty. I'm not giving nobody an advantage.
I hear that. And I do like how the WNBA has the votes, the double counted votes on days, kind of like how the NBA did for
Oh
their All
yeah.
Star voting as well. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, go cast your votes, and vote those New York Liberty players in. Um, and yeah, we will be back. Do you have any updates on the Knicks, or we just I haven't
No,
really.
no, there's no updates. See,
Yeah,
this is who I voted for. Wait, shoot.
you can see
This,
it right there.
I cast my vote already.
Okay, we can see it. Thank you. Seems over there quite long. Um, yeah, I think now things are going to get real spicy with the Knicks, right? Now that the NBA is done. Boston won. I didn't watch the finals. I wasn't interested.
I
Um,
did.
great. And great to those in the chat and replay game who did watch it. I just, I don't know. The Knicks aren't in it. I'm just like, it's kudos to what y'all doing, but yeah, no. Um, but yeah, now that the NBA season is actually over, it's gonna start getting real spicy. Things are gonna start getting very interesting, right? And now phones are gonna be ringing even more. Moves are gonna be made. So we will be keeping an eye out, on our uh, Bleacher, different websites we use on X, and seeing what happens. Do the Knicks sign Hartenstein? Do they keep OG Ananobi? I know there's some fans who have mixed reviews and feel like OG's injury prone and they shouldn't keep him. Um, I think there's a lot of different things that we need to discuss there as far as um, you know, do they keep Precious Achua? Or do they get rid of him? And just I'm really looking forward to after that also seeing like who did what with their game, getting Randall back, um, seeing, who did what as far as like me personally looking for Deuce McBride to see his game elevate. Um, but yeah, I think that now is really the time where we're gonna start seeing some within the next like very few close weeks things happening within the NBA trades and things of that matter, and with the draft coming up as well. So there's definitely going to be some movement happening, and we'll have some more Knicks news regarding that.
And then they also have Summer League, which I definitely know who they should send on the first train smoking.
True.
Sims,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Jericho set him on the first train smoking. Tub, don't you come back until you work on that game.
Yeah. Yeah. Jericho. And I say that with Jericho because we already have like, and this is no disrespect to Mitch, but we don't need a Mitch Part 2.0. Like, you got to have something else going for you besides grabbing rebounds. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I
Yeah.
think because where this Knicks team is, Tibbs and the coaching staff don't have time for developing and things of that nature. Like, we need you to have a little something to under your belt and not just rebounds. So yeah, I don't know. I think Jericho's one of those players. Like I said, he's a filler, but when Mitch or Hartenstein can't play, but I think you could find a better filler position and for that position rather.
Oh,
So
I agree for sure.
yeah. So yeah, that's it for us today. Anything else for you before we get out of here?
Now, thank you, AP. AP. He said he's voting now.
Yeah, I saw that. Shout out to AP, Wonder Woman, Kareem Grant. Those of you who are watching who are not live in the chat, those of you who are watching us on a replay game, we appreciate you guys checking us out and watching us. For summer hours, we will only be on Tuesdays at 6:30, and then we'll be on Saturday mornings at 6:30. Um, unless once
Said
things start to really, I'm sorry.
you said Saturday morning at 6:30.
Saturday morning at 10:30. Tuesday evenings at 6:30 and Saturday mornings at 10:30 will be on. Um, just because right now the NBA is like finishing, but we will be bringing Knicks news. Don't think that we stopped with the Knicks. We'll continue to cover the New York Liberty as well. So check us out on those days. Watch us on a replay, and stay tuned for more videos. And yeah, let's go Liberty. Check the game out tonight if you guys can. And we'll see you guys on Saturday. Have a great week, everybody.